Excuse me, could I get a really annoying character to return, please? Thank you. Welcome to the review of The Husbands of River Song. Alright, that was a depressing intro, but this review is not going to be that depressing, I promise you, because I actually really like the episode. But I'm getting way too far ahead of myself, because before I go into my personal opinion about this Christmas special episode, I just want to give you guys a short recap. The episode starts out with the Doctor being recruited as a medical doctor by a guy called Nardole in the 50th century, by a mistake. He's then taken to a very sick king, where he meets River Song. River, not recognizing the Doctor, continues to steal the head of the king in order to steal the diamond inside of his head. Afterwards, they travel to a space cruise ship called Harmony and Redemption, where River wants to sell the diamond to the scheduled buyer, Scratch. While being there, River finally finds out that she's been with the Doctor all along. After the failed transaction with the diamond, the Doctor takes River's Song to Darillium, where they have their last date together, before River must continue to the library from the Vashtan Urata episode and die there. The episode ends with the words, "and they lived happily ever after," on the screen, clearly indicating that even though it was a sad moment, then they're both okay with it.
Right, so it's time for my personal opinion about this episode or Summer Nothing, and I really like this episode, but this other thing happened or Summer Nothing, because we were all at the ice range, and Jenny really fancied this guy who works there called Lee Wrestle, and so Lee told Joe that Jenny was going to take her out of the back of the park to show her Egg McMuffins.
Now, that didn't really make much sense, did it? But it will to those of you who are fans of Little Britain. Why am I mentioning this? Because guess who was in this episode? Matt Lucas! Matt Lucas is the co-creator of the series called Little Britain, and the series called Come Fly With Me, and the old series called Rockstar Profile. And I'm a huge fan of him. And I mean, I cannot express to you all how excited I was when I found out he was going to be in the episode. I mean, I've been waiting for him for years to be on the show. I should probably give you a little backstory on this one. Ever since I saw David Williams in the episode The God Complex with Matt Smith, I had just been waiting for Matt Lucas to be in this episode, because I grew up with Little Britain. I grew up with Rockstar Profile. I grew up with Matt Lucas and David Williams on my TV screen. And I'm a huge fan of the both of them, and I love what they do. And if you watch Little Britain, you will also know that the narrator for that show is the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker. And both David Williams and Matt Lucas have been in audio dramas for Big Finish Productions, but I was just waiting for the both of them to have appeared in Doctor Who. And I mean, can you imagine how awesome it would be if they were actually in the same episode, the both of them? Anyways, enough about that. I'm sorry I had to geek out a little bit, but I have my moments of fangirling, okay? But let's move on. So, Alex Kingston is back? Yay? You know, to be honest, I don't really know what I felt about her coming back. I mean, at first I was annoyed because I thought her character had gotten a really good ending with Matt Smith. And maybe that was why I expected so little from this episode. And maybe that's why I was so positively surprised, because guess what? I really liked this episode. Like, I really did. I really didn't expect much from this episode, especially also considering Billy Tracy's review of that episode. So, I didn't really expect for anything, and I think that was why I liked it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really didn't like River Song at all. But at the same time, I needed that lighthearted Doctor Who episode. I really did. Because I feel like Peter Capaldi's run has been so filled up with the whole, oh, we're trying to be dark here, we're trying to be dark, it all has to be so serious. It was great to see a moment where everything was just loosened up and people were just having a good time. You could feel that the Doctor and River Song just had a good time together. And it was just a fun episode all the way through. Just a playful, fun episode. And it took me back to the days of David Tennant in the episode The Christmas Invasion, which is one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes ever. Alright, now let's talk about Capaldi's performance in this episode. He was, just like always, completely fucking amazing. I am allowed to swear, because he really was amazing in this episode. However, I have to agree with Billy Tracy on this point. It felt forced. This episode really felt forced, because it felt like Capaldi was being placed into an episode that should have been a Matt Smith episode. The lines were so written for Matt Smith. You can hear this all throughout the episode. They were so written for the 11th Doctor, not for Capaldi. Capaldi hasn't been in contact with River Song. Why would he be so thrilled to see her? Come on, man. It felt like a Matt Smith episode. Matt Smith had the biggest impact on River's song and was the biggest attachment to her. And it's really a shame that people like Stephen Moffat has to write such horrible episodes for Capaldi, because Capaldi is such an amazing doctor, and he is slowly but surely moving in as one of my favorite New Who doctors. But even though his presence in this episode felt redundant, he still performed amazingly and was just absolutely great. His performance was really amazing, and the ending bit where he kind of cried really brought me back to the good old days of John Frobisher in Torchwood. So that was a really nice moment. Even though I didn't really like the John Frobisher character, then I mean, it's still Capaldi, come on. All in all, I really liked this episode, which is why I'm giving it 4 out of 5 TARDISes. The villain was pretty cool, and the episode premise was kind of amazing, even though it was pretty unnecessary. But it was funny, well written, well performed, well edited, well directed, well put together. And it was just all around a good episode, which is why I can honestly say that I will watch this episode again. Now, if you watched my last review, which I hope you fucking did, I said I was gonna go more into depth about Season 9 as a whole, or Series 9, or whatever you want to call it. And so therefore, I will be talking about that. I genuinely thought this series was pretty fucking amazing. It had some really good episodes, like the opening 2-parter, the Saigon 2-parter, and let's not forget the Heaven Sent episode, which was definitely the best one of the series. However, there were also some straight up fucking horrible episodes of this series, like the Macy Williams 2-parter, or the Ghost 2-parter story. All in all, I give this series as a whole 3 out of 5 TARDISes, and that's me being nice, because compared to season 1 through 5 of the new series, it was fucking terrible. But compared to season 7 and 8, it was really, really good. It is definitely Peter Capaldi's best season so far. Anyways, that's my opinion, take it or leave it. Now there isn't much else to say than thank you so much for watching this review. And thank you for watching all of my reviews for Series 9. Also, really importantly, don't go away from this channel. Even though Series 9 is now over, this channel is not going to become inactive. I still have a rant series that I run, and also a comedy sort of sketch series, where I just make comedy sketches related to Doctor Who. So I'm still going to upload, let's say, once every month. That's my promise to you. I'm going to upload once every month. So please don't go away from this channel, because I have some really good videos planned for 2016. So don't go away. But for now, all there is to say is Happy New Year. I wish you all the best in 2016. And if you would like to see my next video whenever I release that, you can click on the box right here on the screen that has me in it. And if you want to check out my main channel where I upload weekly, then you can click right there. That's all for me this time, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.